All right, so these are my general rules, which is, Farm's rule of stupid, don't go stupid places, stupid people, stupid things, stuff like that. Awesome.
Today's video is brought to us by Barrel Block. Barrel Block is an excellent dry fire training aid that we've used for years and recommend. It provides an easy to see indicator that your firearm is empty and safe for dry practice. It comes in all service calibers and can be installed and removed in seconds without disassembling your gun. It's an inexpensive, easy way to give more margin for safety, so go pick one up today.
Sometimes that's not possible, but whenever possible, follow that rule. And if you have a friend or family member who just always starts crap, right? Go out and get drunk and starts crap with people at the bar, things like that, cool. Consider that when they invite you out next time, because again, that's just gonna make your life 10 times harder. Watch for odd social behavior. We just talked about a bunch of it that is weird. And if you want to play with that today, please don't mess with people too hard out here. But there's a few little fun things you can do, talking to people far away or getting close or doing weird stuff, or ask them an interview question like, hey man, you got this thing, whatever, walking up, see what they do.
Ross told me to try this.
Yeah, I will deny it until the end of time. But I love this stuff. Watch hands, man. A lot of times we bounce between hands and face and stuff like that. There's different schools of thought on this. My primary is always hands. I'll check in with the face on occasion, but it's checking in, right? And if I can position myself at all, when we do clearing and stuff, you can handle about 45-degree slice of the world. Once you're beyond about 45 degrees, good luck. You start bouncing your head, and it takes you a while to comprehend what you just saw. So more commonly when we see, again, force-on-force new officers, they start bouncing their head. They look at the thing that is about to kill them. They look away, and then they're like, oh, crap, and they're getting shot by the time they look back. So if at all possible to make your world a 45-degree slice of a problem, do it. And that's hard, right? But one easy way to do that is back up. Cool, and I can't go any further back, but the whole point is if you have that opportunity. Now, take other people's classes to talk about, you can back into trouble and things like that. Yep, absolutely. But my car breaks down and I gotta work on it for a while. I'm gonna go in as part of the parking lot where basically I have a 45-degree slice of the world I gotta worry about. Avoid threats, obviously, right? But what I mean is, do not threaten this population. Never, ever threaten to do something you are not 100% willing to do right now, basically. They are very good at detecting threats, and if you don't follow through, then you have made your situation 10 times worse, right? What I mean is, saying like, whoa, hold up, man. I wasn't a threat. I just told them what I wanted them to do, right? If I say, if you take one more step, I'm gonna pepper spray you. Well, two things have occurred. One, you have told them exactly what you're gonna do so they can prepare for it. Number two, you've lobbed the ball into their end of the court and now you're just waiting. If you give bad guys a turn, I promise you they will do the absolute worst possible thing every single time. Don't give them a turn. Tell them what you want them to do. Let it be a surprise what happens if they don't do it. My 2 cents. And that's from arresting a lot of people. If you tell them what you're gonna do, it usually doesn't go well, right? Practice verbal agility. We're going to do a little bit of that today, but there are lots of classes like my friend Chris Seipert teaches a class on that, NAPS, but there's a lot of other stuff that you can do, and you can play with it today. Please don't traumatize people. I'll show you some fun little tricks. And the last thing is that bad guys are incredibly lazy, however, surprisingly sophisticated at what they do. Once they find something that works, boy, do they get good at refining that through decades. And so, if you start to recognize some of these signs and things, you can deselect yourself fairly easily from their particular chosen method. But, again, to quote my friend Chris Seipert, human laziness is undefeated. And so, we'll get into this in the sexual predation section, but basically, think about it this way. If I asked you right now to go take a photo, go take a selfie with a kid under 10 years old, how would you accomplish that? Would you run out to the nearest 10-year-old, grab them by force, and take a picture? No, right? What would you do? Who would you find? Yeah, find someone you know, right? Find a kid you know. Find someone you already have contact with and be, hey, I know this is weird, but I got a scavenger hunt. You mind taking a selfie? All right, cool, whatever. And yet when we get into stranger violence and especially sexual predation, we for some reason imagine that the primary threat we need to be worried about is someone who's going to run across the street and grab the kid and run away. That happens incredibly rare. And we'll talk about why that is in a minute. So again, whenever you're thinking like, hey, what's the most likely thing about to happen, and you have one option that's incredibly easy and one option that's going to take 15 years of work and whatever, it's almost always going to be the easy option, right? All right, cool.